Yo, what is up, he said users, and welcome back to another video. Okay, so as you guys heard in my movie ranking video for 2022, I watched a lot of movies in January. I watched like 12 or 13 of them or something. And I want to do a ranking video from worst to best. My least favorite movie I watched this month all the way to my favorite. We're going to make it nice and quick and easy so I remember to do these every month and I don't stop doing them because they're too hard to do. So I'll do like a sentence or two for each movie. So I basically made this list, like I looked at my Letterboxd reviews, letterboxd.com/nickisnotgreen, and I ranked them from the highest review to the lowest review. But then I ended up switching some around because I looked at the list and I was like, this movie's better than this movie. So there's some that are like 3 stars, but I rank them better than like a 4-star movie. It's kind of just an arbitrary list of how I feel currently about all the movies, not really about how I felt at the time. I don't really know. There are going to be 12 movies on this list, 12 movies that I'm going to rank. And I did see 13 movies this month. I watched This Place Rules, which is the Andrew Callahan Channel 5 documentary, but I feel I don't really want to rank that one. Who cares? Don't take the list too seriously. Let's talk about it. Speaking of don't take the list too seriously, my least favorite movie that I watched this month was Glass Onion. A Knives Out mystery. I hesitate to talk about this because I know so many people love the movie, and I don't like not liking a movie that everyone likes. I love when I like the same movie as someone else, but when someone doesn't like a movie that I liked, or I don't like a movie someone liked, I just don't want to talk about it. I like just being like, oh, that part was cool. That part was cool. And so Glass Onion, listen, I understand why people like it. I don't know. I ranked it really low, but I don't care that much that I don't like it. And I don't think you guys should care that much that I don't like it. Because a lot of people got upset. They were like, you're just trying to be contrarian. And it's like, I didn't even look at any other. I thought it was a mixed review movie. I thought people were iffy on it also. But then I put out the review and everyone was like, we hate you. All I'm going to say about it is that I really liked the first Knives Out. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 on Letterboxd. But with this new one, the whole time I was like, this feels like an SNL sketch or some parody of Knives Out. The writing I felt was weaker. I felt like the story was less grounded. I didn't like that the actors didn't mesh as well for me. I thought individual performances were really good, but I think overall it just felt very glossy and corporate and not fun for me to watch. And I just didn't I don't mean to be a Ben Shapiro here. I just didn't like how many of it was just all flashback and we start learning about the mystery from the middle of the movie. I like mystery movies where there's a chance for you to figure out the mystery by the end. There's little pieces of the story that come together. But with this story, it just felt like there was no mystery to be had. They were just telling us a story. And I felt like the first Knives Out had a little bit more of that, I guess. I don't know. I'm not good at analyzing movies. I don't even know why I give my opinion on the internet. It stresses me out. Okay, number 11 on my list is Couples Retreat. It's a rom-com movie where this couple goes on a retreat with a few other couples, as Vince Vaughn in it, as Jonah Hill is really funny in it. Wait, no, I'm thinking of forgetting Sarah Marshall. Jonah Hill's not in this movie, but the people in it was good. It was fine. It was funny at times, but mostly I don't like rom-coms very much. I think Vince Vaughn can be funny, but sometimes I'm like, I get it, dude. I don't relate to you. Number 10 on the list is another rom-com, Forgetting Sarah Marshall, a classic Judd Apatow hit starring Jason Segel and Mila Kunis and Kristen Bell and Russell Crowe and Jonah Hill, and Paul Rudd's in there too. I don't know why I'm just naming the actors. This is not a game where I'm supposed to rank who's in it. Listen, same thing with Couples Retreat. I had a good time watching it. It's not like I was dreading it the whole time. It's a good kick back and watch with friends movie, but just didn't have a lot for me. I didn't think it was all that funny, at least as much as most people did. There were funny parts. And I don't know, I wasn't crazy about the end of it. That's it. Number 9 is a movie called Wind River. I liked this movie more than I didn't like it. I thought the second half was a lot better than the first half. It's this movie with Jeremy Renner and Elizabeth Olsen, and they save a bunch of Native American people. It's sort of a white savior-y at times, but I think it does a good job at addressing that there is an issue with the way that we treat and the way that we take care of Native American women in our country. I thought the acting performances were good, and the second half of the movie is really crazy. It's so wild. It's a good thriller movie. It wasn't like amazing, but some people really liked it. So I think it's worth giving it a shot. It definitely has a scene that's like worth watching, but it's a really intense movie. There were some scenes that I had to close my eyes for, and I don't usually have to close my eyes in the movies. Number 9 on my list is The Killing of a Sacred Deer. I thought this was a very odd movie. It was not what I expected going into it. I still am a little bit off put by the way the dialogue is and some of the pacing of the movie, but overall I felt like it did a good job at what it was trying to achieve. I thought there were some really interesting moments in it. It's just a very odd movie with a very odd premise, and it's the whole time you're like, okay, what's the deal? What's going on? The next movie on this list is Watcher. I actually really liked Watcher. I think it came out last year, but it's this like thriller type stalker movie that has really cool cinematography, a really good story. I gave it 4 stars on Letterboxd. I actually really liked this movie, but over time it ended up being more forgettable than some of the other films I saw on this list. But I still think it's worth a watch. It's good. It's pretty good. Next up on the list, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Number 5 on the list is going to be Pop Star. It's a like mockumentary movie with Andy Samberg. Most of you have probably seen it. It was very funny. I thought it was great. I liked all of the little cameos in it. I thought the story was funny. I thought it was a good premise. There were times where the pacing got slow and it was like a little tiring, but overall, it was a good watch. I'm happy I watched it. There were some really funny songs in there. Number 4. Wait, is this number 4 or number 5? Okay, I'm messing up the numbers because number 5 is supposed to be Sound of Metal, which is a movie with Riz Ahmed. And it's this like, I thought it was going to be like a music movie, like similar to Whiplash, but it was a lot more of a drama about this like noise metal drummer who loses his hearing and has to learn how to be deaf. And it's a really beautiful story. This is the one that I gave like a lower amount of stars, but it's grown on me for sure. And I think it's a really special movie, and the sound design is really, really great. I thought the acting performances were great. I thought the story was well told. That's it. Go to number 4. Number 4 on the list is going to be The Menu, the new HBO Max original. It's got a lot of different actors in it, and I thought it was pretty good. It was just, I don't know. I'm just sick of talking about movies. This list sucks, but whatever. The movie's good. I thought it did a good job. I'm not good at talking about things. I don't know why I think that it's worth it for me to do this, but people always ask for me to do something like this, and I'm like, okay, and then I get on here and I have like nothing. I just say vague things. The Menu had great cinematography and had a good, interesting story, and the whole time I was like, oh, what's the deal, guys? What's gonna happen? It stressed me out way too much. I love thriller movies, but I think I'm starting to get too anxious because of them, and every movie is like all about death. There's all this death. Why don't we make movies about life? Overall, I thought it had a fun little message. There were some really funny parts to it. I thought the acting performances were great. The sound design was surprisingly really cool. And yeah, I would recommend it to you foodies out there. Okay, number 3 on the list, Hot Fuzz, a classic comedy movie with Simon Pegg that I hadn't seen before. And I thought that was really great too. Also another movie where the cinematography and the sound design is surprisingly really good. I feel like they went above and beyond with the cinematography in this movie, and it did not have to be as good as it was, but it's also what makes the movie even better than it could have been originally. It was like way longer than I thought it was going to be, and it was a lot like gorier and like and freaky at points, like a lot more so than I thought it would be. But yeah, what a great film. What a good film. What a good funny film. Number 2 on my list is something that I've had on DVD for the longest time and I haven't watched it yet, and it was Uncut Gems. I really loved the last Safdie brother movie, Good Time, with Robert Pattinson, and that's one of my favorite movies ever. And so I watched Uncut Gems expecting something similar, and I got something similar in a lot of regards, different in other ways, but overall I really liked it. I thought that Good Time was a lot better. I like Good Time a lot more. I feel like Uncut Gems at times I was like, okay, we get it. The point of the movie is that everyone's talking and the situation's stressful and something's gonna happen. There were times where I felt that way, but there were other times where I was like, okay, this is really cool. The story is just insane. I don't know how you could ever write something like this. It's a very special movie. I think it was great. I actually really liked the music. I liked the music more in Good Time again, in the cinematography. I kind of liked everything they did in Uncut Gems a little bit more in Good Time, but I still thought that Uncut Gems was different enough where it stands on its own as something that is definitely still worth watching. Both movies, I think, are really good pieces of work, and I'm excited to see what they do next. I know they have a movie in the works, and I'm forgetting what the premise is. Oh, they're doing another film with Adam Sandler? Okay, so I guess they're doing another film with Adam Sandler, which I feel like I think they should go with someone else and tell a good third story with a different actor, but like, you make a good movie, I don't really care. It's kind of like how Jordan Peele had Daniel Kaluuya in Get Out and then in Nope. It doesn't matter. A movie's a movie. If you can make a good one, I shouldn't care. And finally, my favorite movie that I saw this month was Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. I give it 5 out of 5 stars. I cannot believe how good that movie is. It had a lot of hype built up to it, and I went in with pretty high expectations, and they definitely surpassed them. I'm just surprised this movie even exists. I'm surprised it's as good as it is. I loved the sound design, the cinematography. I thought the voice acting was great. The premise of the movie itself is such a smart premise, and this is probably my favorite Shrek universe movie. I love Shrek 1 and 2. I hold them dear to my heart, but I think as an actual story, I think as a cultural movement, Shrek will always be more important of a movie and more important of a movie franchise. But as a story and as like a piece of art, I do think Puss in Boots is my favorite thing that has come out of the Shrek universe, and I think it really connected with me in a very nice way. I definitely can relate more than I would have expected to a lot of the plot points and a lot of the main themes of this movie. I am just surprised that it even was greenlit to happen. I'm surprised they made another Puss in Boots movie, and it's so much different than any of these other like Shrek universe movies are made. It's like amazing. I have not very good adjectives. I'm a little bit high. I'm going to end this video so you can stop listening to me ramble. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you want me to continue doing this. Let me know if you have like He Said Us ideas, because I want to start posting videos again every day. Put them on my email, nickisnotgreenmerch@gmail.com. And watch my newest video on my main channel, I guess. It's doing pretty well. I'm very happy. But the Kamala one did not do well. I was excited about that video and it bombed. So you could watch that if you want. I don't really care. Bye. See ya. Bye.